and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Muhammad Jami Shuaib. I sincerely appreciate taking your time out to check this new video. Please kindly subscribe to this channel, like this video, and also share this video with your network, with your colleagues, and let other people benefit from this new video. This week, I'll be taking you to the most apt document for applying to international scholarship and admission checklist as an international student. As the application window is fast approaching for most prestigious international scholarship like the Erasmus, the Chevrolet scholarship, like the Commonwealth and others, as well as schools abroad in the US, UK, Canada, and elsewhere, the application window is fast approaching. So this is the high time, this is the right time you start assembling, you start gathering your document, you start marking the list of documents you have and those you don't have, and make an effort to gather them. So this video will give you a brief overview, will give you a general overview of documents you need to have. So just get accurate, know that some of these documents are not that all these documents I'll be presenting to you is required by every scholarship, no, or is required by all schools, no. But there are some general documents that either any scholarship or schools will require it, and there are some that they're specific. Some schools require a specific or scholarship requires a specific document, while others don't require. So it is, you check to the requirement of each scholarship or school you apply to, then you weigh your option. So let's get started. So the first on my list now is the academic degree and transcript. Of course, before you, if you're interested, or if you're interested in studying if you are going for grad studies abroad, you must have finish your undergrad studies. That's the expectation. So you are to have your academic degree by now, your bachelor's degree. If you are going for master's degree, of course you need to have your undergrad degree, and if you're also going for PhD, you must have done your bachelor's degree and master. However, some schools don't require you to have a master's degree before you can apply for PhD, especially in the US. So you might not require a master's degree before you apply for a PhD, which is called a direct PhD. You also you have a master's degree during the process, but you don't need a master's degree before you can apply for PhD. If you have a strong profile, you have a very strong grade, you have a very strong research experience, and you have publication, so you can go for a direct PhD. Another thing is your transcript. So please, this is a very essential document that you cannot go with it. You cannot go without it. So please get your transcript from your school. Transcript processing in some parts of the countries, in some countries, is very serious effort. So you don't want to joke with this. Start preparing now. Get your transcript, your unofficial transcript. Your unofficial transcript is also known as a student copy. So after you gain admission to a school, they will also request you to send the official transcript directly from your school. Your school is going to process that to that new school you gain admission into. So you don't want to joke with these two documents, the academic degree and the transcript. However, at the same time, some scholarship or some schools allows you to apply making use of statement of results. If you have a statement of results, don't let that deter you from applying. But before you resume to school, you must present the original document, that is your original certificate. At the same time, if you are an undergrad, if you are a final year undergrad student, you can also start applying for postgrad studies abroad while you are in your undergrad. So you don't have a PhD, you don't have an academic degree, right? Yes, but you can make use of your transcript, that is from your 100 level result to your 300 level result, suffices you for the application. So some application, not all scholarship or school though, but some see this as nothing. Some accept this. So your transcript from 100 level to 300 level suffices you to apply for postgrad studies, admission, or scholarship. So just go for it. The next on my list is academic CV. So this is a document that summarizes or gives details about your experience, your work experience, your education details, your research experience, your volunteering experience. It summarizes everything about you. So writing an academic CV is also an art itself. So many people, or let me say many fresh graduates who don't have this experience, don't know how to write CV. So you don't want to write a CV with unnecessary details. Your CV is not a document to showcase your bio. Some people just write unnecessary details. We don't need your local government. You don't need your state of origin. You don't need all that. The only details we have that is that's kind of contact details, your name, your email address, your telephone number, and your address, that is your physical address. That's all it requires. You don't need to start writing that the name of your house, your family house, the name of your children. Who cares about that? That alone can even distract your reviewer, and that might lead to dumping your application into the dustbin. So you want your CV to be written very well. So just check out in my subsequent videos on this channel. I'll be making a video specifically for how to write academic CV. There are some headlines that need to go into your academic CV, like your education, like your research experience, like your work experience, teaching experience, honors and awards. You want to make all these in bullet points and develop it very with a concurrent format. So academic CV is also essential part. Is most scholarship and admission requires you to upload an academic CV. So if you don't have a CV, it is high time now you start putting together your experience, putting together all your achievements and honors, so that you can make a academic CV. And if you have done that, you can also give it for a second look to help you review it and to ensure that you review it for grammatical errors. You check it for English and mistakes, for grammatical mistake and errors. You don't want to fall into grammatical mistake or trap while your reviewer is reviewing your document and saying that you are making use of your verb, you're making use of singular verb where you should use a plural verb. So all these, it needs to be done very well. Yes, this is another very essential thing you cannot go with. You cannot stay away with. If you're a person that you're fear of writing, then you have to weigh your options very well. Grad school is very strenuous. Grad school is particularly when it comes to grad school, if you are going for undergrad, that's another route, but you also need writing. Grad school requires writing. You write a lot. You write assignments. You write report. You write your thesis. So you want to start on. You need to earn your writing skills. Don't be afraid of writing. Writing is is a process. Just follow the process from reading. You writing it yourself. Read, and write. So there are a lot of writing or a lot of essays when it comes to scholarship and admission to schools abroad, but the most common or the most widely known one is statement of purpose. So statement of purpose is an essay that summarizes you, that you're selling yourself to the review committee. You're selling yourself to the school. A statement of purpose summarizes every details about you, your school, why you are interested in the school, or why you are interested in the scholarship, or why you are applying, what is your academic progression, what are the importance or the essential of that degree. After you've achieved that degree in that school, how will it help your career? How will it help your knowledge? How will it help your everything this course can do to you? So you summarize everything, your research experience, your everything about you summarize it in a limited number of words. Some might require you that you write your statement of purpose in 250 words, 500 words, 1,000 words, 1,500 and 2,000. I think that's the highest I've seen so far, 2,000 words. So you have a lot of words to talk yourself around. So statement of purpose, also another writing, very common in scholarship application or school application, is very, very common. You want to learn about how to write it. So another thing is research proposal. So another essay is research proposal. If you are going for a thesis, a research-based master's degree or PhD, some schools require you to submit a research proposal or even a scholarship. That is what you want to work on. Research proposal is also another writing entirely on its own. You need to learn how to write it, so you can check out resources online, go for seminars, go for conferences on how to write this, so that you can earn your skill. You have to know how to write a research proposal. Based on the area of studies, area of research you want to work on, you develop a proposal, just a 2 pages. In some schools, in many times, maximum of 5 pages, even for PhD, just a summary of your research proposal, a little introduction, the significance of the studies, the literature, a brief literature review, methodology, and other things. So another essay is also motivation letter. So motivation letter is another essay entirely. This, as the name implies, it's asking you the motivation. So this motivation letter can be tailored to a particular specific question in some schools. That is why you're interested in the school. That's the motivation letter. Or why you're interested in applying for this scholarship. So you talk about your motivation. So focus more on ingredients. Focus more on value, and don't be emotion. So it's very good that one basic way that people love writing about motivation letter is emotional based. You talk about yourself that okay, you are from a lower income background in Africa. You are from trenches of Africa. You are from this, or you have not eaten since 3 days ago. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that. You want to come out with value. Okay, I'm interested in this because I work on this area, and this where I want to improve my knowledge. I want to do this. I want to do that. So you talk about value. So leave out emotional based writing. You don't even need to talk about your financial constraint unless if it's asked. Some scholarships specifically can ask you that, okay, what, let's know your financial, why do you need scholarship? And that's also financial letter, so, or financial essay. So it might be requested that why do you need scholarship? So you talk about, okay, you can't afford this is your family background, this is the annual income of your family. So you talk about that. We also have diversity statement. Diversity statement is just a kind of essay. You are describing yourself from a describing your diversity. That is, you talk about yourself. Okay, this is my ethnic group. This is where I came from. I'm a black. I came from this particular ethnic group. I'm from this tribe. So the purpose of this diversity statement is just to convince the reviewers that you coming down to their school, or you to the admission committee, that when you come down to their school, you are going to improve their diversity and inclusion, because that's one of the interests of international students. That is, international students are being accepted into schools abroad because to have a rich environment, a rich experience. So you have people from different parts of the world, from Asia, from Oceania, from Australia. Everybody in just a class or in an institution. It's kind of a very rich experience and a very rich exposure. So another thing is that some schools and scholarship application also has a specific question. Like Chervini scholarship, they have some specific questions, like 4 questions to ask you. This is specific to Chervini. There are also tons of other scholarship out there that you have to write a specific question. So you might not know what they're asking unless you start the application first. So essay is essential part. So you can't stay away from it. You can't escape it. If you are afraid of writing, then scholarship might not be your option. So you have to start writing now. Don't seek help from people to help you write it. That would be beneficial to you in the long run. In the long run, because grad studies requires you to write a lot and a lot. So you want to start improving your writing skill on your writing skill right away. So let's see the next document. Another essential document is letters of recommendation. Letters of recommendation. This is a document that you don't want to joke with at all. If you're applying for scholarship, or you're applying for something about even but for jobs, they require you to letters of recommendation. Now you presented yourself that you need this scholarship or you want admission to a school. You want someone to attest to your to your ability, to your experience. You want someone to give us a good word on you, that okay, this particular applicant is a person you must not, is a person you need in your school. So you don't want to request a letter of recommendation from just anyone. So you request a letter of recommendation from those who knew you, who know you, who have a very good knowledge of you, from your past lecturers or from past teachers, your professors especially. So you request a recommendation of letter from lecturers, from professors, if you have a cordial relation with them. All those people who are below the cadre of professor, so far they knew you, they are your teachers, they taught you in school, you have a research experience, you done research under them, maybe as a research supervisor. So, and also, if you've left academic for a while, you've left academia for a while, you are now in the industry, you are working in an industry, you can also request letter of recommendation from your job, from your boss, from your employer. It's also part of it. So, and so some scholarship also requires that, okay, you have a mixture of it. If you have been in industry, you request a letter of recommendation from your employer as well as your past teachers or your past lecturers. So letter of recommendation is very, very essential. Right now, you need to start building a very strong relationship with your lecturers. So start telling them this is what you are interested in, this is your plan, this is your ambition. You are applying for scholarship, you are applying for this school, and you like them to write you a letter of recommendation, a very strong one. A letter of recommendation will have the details about you, how the lecturers, how the recommender knew you, how many years maybe you have. So the higher the number of years, the more the compelling the letter of recommendation will be to the admission committee. Okay, if a person who have known you for like 5 years is writing a letter of recommendation for you, it's good. It's a strong one. because the year is very long. So they will write about you, about your abilities, about what you how you come in contact with them. That this professional contact you have with the lecturer, maybe because of your supervisor or because he's a lecturer for one of your course, and how your achievement, your experience, your research experience, you summarize all this into just a page of a document called letter of recommendation. So please start reaching out to your lecturers, telling them your ambition, give them, let them know what you want from them. And some recommender might require you that, okay, write it yourself. You actually say write it yourself, so then they will edit it and put it in a letterhead. So start reaching out to your recommender and let them know of your plan. So the next on my list is English proficiency certificate and standardized tests. English proficiency certificate and standardized test. So if you are an international student, you can't escape this. If you are coming from Africa, or you are coming from Asia, or you are coming from non-English speaking countries, you need to present an evidence that, okay, you are proficient in speaking English. You can understand that you can speak English. That's for English instructor, English for program or courses instructed in English with their instruction in English. Some programs have their instruction in French. There are some schools in Canada that the medium of instruction is French. So if you understand French, you might not be considered for English, for evidence of English. But most schools or most international students will often go for the English medium of instruction programs. So you want to show the admission committee that you are proficient in English. How can you do that? There are several ways you can do that. The very first way or the simple way is to request a English certificate, English evidence from your school, English proficiency evidence from your university. So all universities do give their graduates this letter. So just go to the academic office in your school, request for this. They are going to attest to the fact that, okay, you've been studying in this school for almost 4 years and all the medium of communication is English. So you are proficient in English. So this is enough for some application. Some schools, some scholarship accept this. While some schools don't accept the English certificate from your school, you ought to enroll and do a standardized test. So we have different English standardized tests, but the most common one and the most acceptable one in every part of the world is IELTS and TOEFL. So IELTS is International English Language Testing System, while TOEFL is test of English as a foreign language. So these two tests are most widely known and most widely accepted and most widely certified tests for English for English tests. So if you have the means to take this test, please go for it. So just check online and see the prices. So it might be quite very expensive, but if you have the means, please go for it. Apart from this test, is required is to also improve your profile among other applicants in the applicant pool. This alone can improve your being getting admission into the school. Because when there are two applicants with the same score, but they are given the same score by the admission committee, just little document like this or little part of the application like the English test, maybe the former present a proficiency from his school while you present a test score, you can be given admission or the scholarship over the other. So if you have the means and you please go for it. Another standardized test is known as GRE. We have standardized tests like GRE, GMAT. So GRE, GMAT are not English tests. They are just an entrance test to grad school. So GRE, GMAT is for those who are going for graduate studies. That is postgraduate studies, not for undergrads. Undergrads also have their own tests. So GRE, GMAT, GRE is mostly done by people in STEM. That is, if you have your courses, if your undergrad courses is within the sciences domain, technology, that is like engineering, mathematics, and so engineering and mathematics. So you ought to take GRE. But GMAT is for those in social sciences, or let's say social sciences, in art, in humanity. So they take the GMAT. So GMAT and GRE is also a standardized. Just take it like official entrance examination for every country. Just like a kind of in some schools or in some countries, you also have an entrance exam before you can get entrance into college or into university, into polytechnics. So this GRE is just an official or standardized entrance test for grad studies. We also have other tests, other English test that's also applicable in other schools. Some schools also accept a test known as Duolingo. I'm not very sure if I pronounce it right. So just check online and check the requirement of the schools you are interested in to see if there are other options they accept aside the one I listed here. So the next document on my list is the travel document. So I do tell people who are closer to me, people who are interested in hunting for scholarship, that get your passport before you even start to think of or you start to dream of those beautiful cities outside your country or outside your continent. So travel document is very essential. Some application to schools or scholarship, you cannot proceed with them without you uploading your passport. So having your passport, the very basic travel document you need to have is your passport. Please start saving up or start applying for passports while you also prepare for other documents or you also engage with your application. Some application are the very first step or at the very first page of that application portal. You cannot proceed without uploading your passport. While some application does not require it at first. But when you are giving the scholarship or you are giving the admission, it is required that you send that the front cover, the front page of your passport so that the visa processing can occur immediately. So please ensure that you have your passport ready or you are also in the process of getting it while you are also engaging with other applications. This is very, very essential. So these are the basic documents I've presented in subsequent previous slides. There are those you need to have: your academic degree, your transcript, the English test, your letter of accommodation, your travel document. So these are the basic things you need to have. We also have others documents, your essay as well. We also have other those documents that they are specific to some scholarship. Not all scholarship requires them. Among them is police report. Many scholarship in Asia, like the Chinese government scholarship, they often require that you have a police report. So this police report is just a letter you request from police station or headquarters in your countries to attest that you are not a criminal. So just a letter. You can also in Nigeria you can apply for this online, and then you will be called to come and have for some printing and others. So this is just to attest that okay, this person has not been found guilty of any offense or criminal act from his doing his stay in this country. So some scholarship requires that and is compulsory. You cannot submit such scholarship such application without uploading the police report. You also have medical certificates. Some scholarship also requires that you upload the medical certificate. That is a fitness certificate that to show that you are fit to travel abroad or you are fit, you don't have any complications, don't have any health issues like HIV and other big complications regarding health. So you don't have. Another thing is also have affidavit of residence. So this is very, very specific to Erasmus scholarship. You might have heard about Erasmus scholarship. Erasmus scholarship is one of the most prestigious scholarship in European countries. So there are you are. It's very, 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 very rare that you don't have a course to apply to in Erasmus scholarship. So Erasmus scholarship is very comprehensive and is very competitive because of the number of applicants they accept every year. Maybe from a country for a program, maybe a program for each country is just 3 candidates from a country. So it's very, 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 very competitive. So affidavit of residence can be obtained from the high court in your school. So from the high court in your school can obtain the affidavit of residence. So this is just to certify that okay, you have been residing in this country for up to these years. So just go to your high court and seek for that. So you have all these documents ready in your application folder. So you keep it. You have the version of it, that is, you scan them, you add it to your computer, or you save it to your drive, and also you have the original document saved in your folder somewhere in your room. So on the final notes, after you've had all these documents, you've made a checklist of all these documents. So the next thing is that you look for school that offer your course. So what do you want to use all these application documents for? You want to use to apply to school, to scholarship. So some scholarship requires you that you apply for scholarship and you also apply for the school. Why some scholarship in school, you only apply for admission, then you will be considered for the scholarship if you are if you're eligible for it or if you are qualified. So you start looking for course for school that's over your course. Just a simple Google search can do this. Just search, okay, MSc in aquaculture in US University or MSc in biotechnology in Saudi Arabia. Just a simple Google search will bring the list of schools. Then you start to explore these schools. You start to look out for supervisor. So you start to look out the pages of that school. You look for those academic staff there. You look for supervisors that have research interest with yours. So you don't just grad school is all about the research intensive, especially if you are going for research based. So we have two type of MSc is you either have a research based or coursework, but PhD is a research intensive itself. But you can go for MSc coursework. You are not going to do a research, so it's not research intensive, and that's the most important in the UK. But if you are going for research based uh, program, please secure a supervisor. A supervisor will further improve your acceptability rate to that school, because that supervisor will be giving you a kind of letter of support, will be supporting you in the reviewing committee that, okay, this candidate will be my student. Because some schools even give it's compulsory in some school that you must secure a supervisor. If you don't secure a supervisor, you cannot proceed with that application. Securing a supervisor that is a professor in that school is very essential to your to completing your application, because they want to team you up with a supervisor before you even commence your study. So you write a simple email to those professors, tell them about your interest, get their email address on the school website. Another thing is also West evaluation. So if you graduated with a low grade, that is your undergrad study is not very 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 okay. Don't feel shattered. You still have more options, or you are HND holders. So for applicants from Nigeria, there's this for applicants from Nigeria. There's a certificate being awarded by the polytechnics, which is known as higher national diplomas, which is which is synonymous to the bachelor's degree. But most schools don't recognize this HND in most schools or in most countries. But some schools in US, in UK, they recommend this. They accept this HND. But the West evaluation is a kind of is a kind of weighting, a kind of evaluation of your courses. That is, courses you've done in your undergrad is going to be evaluated, or is going to be assessed and make it to be a US based education ranking that is 4 points. So the importance of doing West evaluation is that West evaluation will only evaluate courses you've done in your undergrad, that is core courses, compulsory courses. Those elective courses that spoiled your grade, your CGPA, maybe some courses you borrow outside your department, some elective courses that you don't put more attention to them, and they later on you have a low grade in them and it affects your overall CGPA. This West evaluation will not take cognizance of that, will not put that into consideration. Only compulsory courses. If you have good grades in all your compulsory courses, it might be interesting to you that you can graduate with a low second class lower, but when you do West evaluation, you add the second class upper, and that is what you'll be using. You don't need to use that your former undergrad degree again. That West evaluation will be what you'll be using to apply to school to scholarship, and that will improve your application than you submitting a lower grade transcript or degree. Another thing is volunteer and network. Please, volunteer scholarship application or scholarship is a very 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 competitive journey that you have a lot of qualified applicants, but with a very minimal award to people. So you volunteer to improve your experience. You network with other scholars who are in school that you are interested in. You network with them. You get them the guide. You give you tips. Review your application. So it's not a solo journey. You network with people. You also form a group among your colleagues who have interest in studying abroad or applying for scholarship. So make use of LinkedIn and Twitter. So if you are interested, if you are a serious student looking for scholarship, these two platforms must be where you spend most of your time, not Facebooking or WhatsApping. So LinkedIn and Twitter have a lot of opportunities. Professors around the world make use of Twitter, and they make use of this platform to announce that they have funding which is also synonymous to scholarship in their lab. So students who are interested should send their CV, should send their email, should send their degree certificate. So you have to make use of this platform to your advantage, and also be ready to read more to sharpen your writing skills. Read and write. So you can't escape that. You have a lot of essay to write in your application, in your scholarship pursuit, a lot of essay. So you don't stay away from essay. Essay is not hard to write. It just requires the art. You study it and you read and you also practice. So on a final note, I hope you with this, I hope I've given you a brief overview of what documents required of you to start preparing for the forthcoming or for the fast approaching application window for this year. So start preparing your application documents, reach out to your school, start processing your transcript. Transcript is one of those documents that do delay many people. Reach out to your lecturers, have a cordial relationship with them, check on them. So I sincerely appreciate your time. Lastly, I appreciate your time for saying about to check out this video. So kindly like this video, give this video a thumbs up, share this video to your friends and network, and subscribe to this channel. Till then, see you soon in the next video.